Welcome back to Luxury Auto 1, the channel where truth meets drama, and reality collides with power. We bring you the stories the mainstream won't touch, the clashes, the controversies, and the moments that define our culture. Subscribe if you haven't already, and now, buckle up. This one is going to shake the political media landscape to its core. It was supposed to be a routine interview. A calm, civil morning discussion between two political veterans on live television. But what unfolded on the set of Good Morning America in August 2025 will go down in broadcast history as one of the most shocking, unscripted confrontations ever aired. Senator John Kennedy, the sharp-tongued Republican from Louisiana known for his Southern charm and sardonic wit, walked into the Good Morning America studio with confidence. He had been invited to speak about recent legislative debates surrounding digital privacy and government surveillance, a hot-button issue that's been dividing the country. But behind the scenes, tensions had already been simmering. George Stephanopoulos, the longtime host of the show, wasn't just preparing for a typical interview. Sources close to the production said he had a personal axe to grind. Kennedy's recent comments about the media's role in manufacturing fear and dividing America had struck a nerve, especially within the hallowed halls of ABC News. The cameras rolled. The lights came up. And what started as a cordial exchange turned into a battlefield. George opened with a question that immediately set the tone. Senator Kennedy, in recent months, you've accused major news networks, including this one, of pushing propaganda. What evidence do you have for such an accusation? Kennedy leaned back in his chair, blinking slowly. Well, George, I don't need to bring a PowerPoint presentation. Americans aren't stupid. They know when they're being sold a narrative. The studio grew tense. George forced a tight smile. So you're suggesting that seasoned journalists, who've dedicated their lives to facts and public service, are just making things up? Kennedy didn't flinch. I'm saying some journalists have traded their pens for pom-poms, cheering for one side instead of holding everyone accountable. And frankly, George, you're starting to sound like their quarterback. A few audience members gasped. Off camera, producers exchanged nervous glances. Stephanopoulos, visibly irritated, adjusted his tie. Let me remind you, Senator, that this is a news program, not a campaign rally, he said, his voice rising slightly. We ask tough questions. We seek truth. Kennedy shot back without missing a beat. Truth? You folks are so married to your own version of it, you should have filed taxes jointly. That's when the tone changed. It wasn't playful anymore. Stephanopoulos leaned in, eyes narrowed. You come on this show, Senator, to insult journalists and spread conspiracy theories. Kennedy cut him off. I came on this show to talk about Americans losing their digital freedom while folks like you distract them with shiny headlines. You'd rather talk about who tweeted what than why big tech's got more power than Congress. George's face hardened. He turned to the producers and muttered something off mic. Then, back on camera, he said, Senator, if you're going to continue with baseless accusations, we're going to have to end this segment. Kennedy stood up. Right there, live on national television. You know what, George? Maybe you should end it. Maybe folks watching at home will finally see what censorship looks like in a three-piece suit. The studio went dead silent. Stephanopoulos, flustered, motioned to a crew member. The screen quickly cut to commercial, but not before viewers caught the unmistakable image of security approaching the senator. Backstage, it got even uglier. Insiders revealed that George ordered the interview be pulled from future broadcasts and scrubbed from the network's digital platforms. The official line? Technical difficulties, but clips had already gone viral. The internet exploded with hashtags like #KennedyClash and #GMA Meltdown. Conservative commentators rushed to support Kennedy. Tucker Carlson, now hosting an independent media platform, called it a glimpse into the media's Iron Curtain. Meanwhile, progressive outlets criticized Kennedy's tone and accused him of performative outrage. But this wasn't just about political theater. It was about something deeper. Something raw. In an impromptu press conference outside the studio, Kennedy didn't hold back. Standing in front of a sea of microphones, he addressed what happened. I didn't walk out. I was walked out, he said. And if speaking plainly gets you kicked off television in 2025, maybe we need fewer anchors and more mirrors. Reporters pressed him, was he planning legal action? Was he banned from Good Morning America permanently? Kennedy smirked. I've got no desire to return to a place that thinks journalism means asking questions they already wrote the answers to. Meanwhile, ABC executives remained tight-lipped. A brief statement was released. Good Morning America values respectful dialogue. While passionate discussion is encouraged, we must maintain a standard of civility. But critics pointed out the double standard. When liberal guests lashed out in the past, they were praised for their passion. When Kennedy pushed back, he was shown the door. The incident reignited a national debate about free speech, media bias, and the role of journalism in American democracy. College campuses hosted forums dissecting the clash. Late-night comedians joked about it, while serious editorialists warned of its implications. Even President Harris weighed in during a press conference. Every American has a right to be heard, she said carefully. But there's also a responsibility to speak with integrity and respect. Kennedy, never one to back down, responded with a tweet, "Respect is earned, not demanded." And integrity doesn't mean agreement. His followers loved it. Within hours, it had over 3 million likes. But not everyone was laughing. Behind the scenes, insiders at ABC said the network was split. Some staff felt George Stephanopoulos had gone too far, turning what should have been a tough interview into a personal grudge match. Others believed Kennedy was intentionally provocative, trying to bait the host. And then came the leaks. An anonymous staffer from GMA released an internal memo showing that producers had prepped George with aggressive talking points specifically designed to put Kennedy on the defensive. The memo included phrases like "call out hypocrisy," "challenge conspiracy rhetoric," and "don't let him control the narrative." Suddenly, the story had a whole new layer. It wasn't just a spontaneous meltdown. It had been orchestrated, or at least planned to escalate. The memo lit a firestorm. Kennedy took to the Senate floor, waving a copy of the leaked document. "They didn't invite me for a discussion.